Charles Darwin, the man who brought forth the theory of evolution, claimed that all life descended from a single common ancestor. When it comes to human beings, he proposed that we evolved from lower ape-like creatures. And to support this, he pointed to what he called rudimentary organs, parts of the human body that, according to him, once had a purpose in our animal past but are now completely useless. One of these organs he labeled as vestigial is the coccyx, or what many refer to as the tailbone. But is it really just a leftover from a monkey tail? Let's find out what modern science actually says about it. But what is a rudimentary or vestigial organ? In his book The Descent of Man, Darwin wrote that vestigial organs are proof of our descent from lower animals. He argued these organs served vital functions for our supposed primate ancestors, but as humans evolved, they lost their purpose. And now they're just useless leftovers. One example Darwin strongly emphasized was the coccyx, which he believed was simply a non-functional remnant of a tail. But is that really true? Darwin observed that human embryos briefly display a tail-like structure during development. This, he said, was evidence that we descend from tailed animals. He argued that since the coccyx doesn't help us move like an animal's tail would, it must be in the process of disappearing. In other words, no function, just evolutionary baggage. But here's the problem. Science today tells a very different story. Far from being useless, the coccyx plays several essential roles in our body. Let's break them down. 1. Muscle, tendon, and ligament attachment. The coccyx anchors multiple pelvic floor muscles, like the levator ani and coccygeus. These muscles support vital organs and help with urinary and bowel control. Without them, basic bodily functions would be compromised. 2. Sitting stability and balance. When you sit, especially leaning back, the coccyx works together with your sitting bones to form a tripod of support. It helps you maintain posture and balance without putting too much pressure on your spine. 3. Postural support. Though small, the coccyx helps in spinal alignment and in the transition between sitting, standing, and walking. It's a hidden helper in everyday movement. 4. Childbirth in women. During childbirth, the coccyx can flex backward, expanding the pelvic outlet and making delivery smoother. That's not something a useless bone does. 5. Shock absorption. The coccyx acts as a cushion in case of falls or sudden movements, protecting the spine and pelvis from injury. Darwin also referred to the tail-like structure in embryos as evidence for evolution. But modern embryology gives us a better explanation. What he called a tail is actually a temporary developmental extension of the spine, made up of structures called somites. These somites are critical for forming muscles, vertebrae, and other tissues. Over time, the extension is absorbed, and the coccyx remains as a functional adult structure. It's not a tail we grow and lose. It's a necessary step in human development. So, what do we actually have? Not a leftover from monkeys, but a multifunctional, purpose-driven part of the human body. Darwin may have dismissed the coccyx as an evolutionary leftover, but science shows it's a precisely integrated part of our anatomy. From posture and stability to childbirth and organ support, the coccyx is anything but useless. It's time to move past outdated evolutionary assumptions and recognize the coccyx as a masterpiece of design, not a meaningless remnant. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you learned something new. Thanks for watching.